So, Web3, it's supposed to be this amazing, decentralized future, right? But let's be real. For most people, it's just super confusing. Today, we're going to dig into the single most important thing that can fix that: great design. Let's break down how it's building the bridge to bring Web3 to literally everyone.
I mean, have you ever tried to use a decentralized app or set up a crypto wallet for the first time? It can feel like you need an engineering degree just to get started. You've got all this jargon, complicated steps like managing seed phrases, concepts that don't really exist anywhere else. You're definitely not alone if you felt lost. So why is it so tough, and how can we possibly fix it so everyone can use it?
And look, this isn't just some small hiccup. We're talking about the Web3 usability problem, and it is, without a doubt, the single biggest wall standing between this incredible technology and it becoming a part of our everyday lives.
Think about it like this. On one hand, you've got Web 2. It's simple, it's familiar, it's intuitive. It's all the apps we use every single day without even thinking about it. But then you have Web 3, which, to a newcomer, looks like a total maze of new risks and a really steep learning curve. That massive gap in usability, that's exactly what design is here to solve.
So how in the world do we fix this? Well, the answer is all about smart, specialized design. The best way to think about great UI and UX is to see it as a translator. It takes this powerful, really complex blockchain technology and turns it into clear, simple, and trustworthy experiences that, anyone can actually use.
So what do we actually mean when we say Web3 design? Because trust me, it's a whole lot more than just making things look pretty. It's really the practice of building products that are usable and can scale, and it has three main goals: to simplify every single interaction, to build user trust right from that very first click, and ultimately to drive long-term adoption.
Now, getting to that level of clarity, it doesn't just happen by magic. It's the result of a really structured, proven process that's specifically set up to build trust at every single stage. Let's walk through exactly how that works.
Okay, so everything kicks off with a really solid foundation. Step 1, discovery, is all about nailing down the core vision. From there, you dive deep into user research, which is where designers really figure out those exact moments of confusion for users. Like that heart-pounding anxiety of sending a transaction you can't reverse. And finally, experience strategy maps out the perfect user journey, trying to get rid of that friction before a single screen is even designed.
All right, next up, this is where the product really starts to take shape. You've got information mapping, which organizes everything logically so users never feel lost. Then comes wireframing, which is basically creating a simple blueprint to test the product's flow before adding any colors or fonts. And only after that structure is rock solid does the team get into visual design, focusing on a clean interface that feels professional and, most importantly, trustworthy.
And for the final stretch, the design is really brought to life. Interaction design adds all those smooth animations and bits of feedback that make an app feel snappy and reliable. But then comes what might be the most important step of all: usability testing. This is where real users actually try the design to catch any lingering confusion. And that's so critical in Web3, where one tiny mistake can have huge consequences. Once it's perfected, the design handoff packages it all up for developers so the build is flawless.
So that's the whole process, from A to Z. But what does all this work actually create? Let's take a look at the real-world Web3 experiences that are made possible by this kind of intense design focus. Every type of Web3 product has its own unique puzzle to solve. Take decentralized apps, or dApps. The goal there is to simplify really complex stuff like connecting a wallet or approving gas fees. Or crypto wallets. It's all about building absolute bulletproof trust and making sure people don't make mistakes when they send transactions. For DeFi dashboards, the challenge is making a ton of overwhelming financial data easy to understand at a glance. And for NFT platforms, it's all about creating an experience that's visually rich and super engaging.
And this user-first mindset, it's crucial for literally the entire ecosystem. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a decentralized exchange for trading, a DAO platform for communities to vote, or a staking tool for earning rewards. The core principle is always the same. Clarity is what leads to adoption.
But listen, this isn't just about making things easy to use for the sake of it. In a market as crowded and competitive as Web3, great design isn't just a nice to have. It's what drives actual business growth. It's a necessity.
So here's how that actually breaks down. When you invest in design, you get these super clear, intuitive paths for your users. That builds trust, right? It encourages people to actually use the product. And when people aren't getting confused and frustrated, they stick around. They don't just drop off. All of that leads directly to sustainable growth and, yep, a much higher return on investment.
And hey, the proof is in the pudding. A 99% client retention rate? That's not just some random number. That's a huge signal that when a design process delivers real value, clients don't just succeed, they stay for the long haul.
And this isn't just a theory either. Just listen to what this CEO had to say about his experience. He put design first. And what happened? He got a killer solution that was not only stable enough to launch, but also polished enough to really impress investors. That, right there, is the power of leading with design.
Okay, so all of this brings us to one really big question. We know that the crazy complexity is the big wall holding Web3 back from everyone, and we know that a smart, user-focused design process can absolutely knock that wall down. So, is great design the key? Is that what will finally unlock the decentralized web for all of us? The entire future of the internet might just depend on that answer.